Now that we're ready to start buying traffic and getting traffic to our website, we need to know how to track it. We need to track conversions. We need to be able to track opt-ins from each traffic source, and we also need to track sales, of course. So we can really figure out what everything is worth and whether an ad campaign is worth paying for, if it's profitable or if it's losing money, if we should scale it or we should abandon it, so on and so forth. So let me show you real quick how you can add goal tracking to your Google Analytics account so you can track conversions by each individual traffic source and each thing that you set up within Google Analytics. So once you're logged into Google Analytics, it's real simple. You're going to go under admin at the top, so you're going to click admin. Then it's going to come down and show you your account, and then it's just going to say, what the account name is. I just, created that for this course, this blank account, what the property is. So if you have more than one website, and then of course view all website data. But what you're going to do is under all website data, under this view, you're going to go down to the third one called goals. So you click goals, and then it's basically going to bring up your listing of current goals. Now, if you have a new account, you're going to show no goals for this. If you've set up some before, you'll have your list of goals. All that I'm showing here is one. It's called test goal that I set up. But I'm going to show you how to set up a new one. It's very simple. You start by clicking on this red button, plus new goals. You're setting up a new goal. So you click that. And then it gives you some options. So step number 1 of 3 is goal setup. You can click by template, and it can do some pre-configured things that they've done to track reservations, or if someone made a payment or made an appointment. So you can track all kinds of goals and conversions in your business depending on your business model. If someone contacted you or visited a page or loaded something and watched it for so much time, let's ignore all that and just keep it simple. There's an easier way to set up goals. There are some more advanced things that you can do. Again, you can go in and learn about Google Analytics from the Google Analytics Academy that Google has, which goes real deep how to use Google Analytics. It's complicated. I like to stick to the 80-20 rule. Just use the 20% of the basic features. That'll do 80% of the stuff, and you're fine. You can always go back and learn the nitty-gritty later if you want to do advanced things. But for most applications, for most marketers, I know marketers, businesses I've helped that are doing over 10 million a year in sales, they don't use but a few things in Google Analytics because they don't need to for their business model. Anyways, click custom. So under all the templates and setup, under this number 1 goal setup, there's an option at the bottom that says custom. Just click custom, and then you're going to click continue. And then it says goal description, name it. So I'm just going to call it test goal 2, but you would name it whatever you're going to name it, like opt-in form number 1, opt-in, whatever, special report opt-ins, or free guide download, or whatever you want to name it. But you want to name it that. I wouldn't mess with the goal slot ID. It'll default. It'll add the next one that you're setting up. But then what you want to do is you want to do the type of goal. Again, whether somebody spent time on a page or did an action or event, you don't want to do any of that. Click destination, the top one, and then you're going to click continue. And then it's going to say destination equals to, and then it says the app screen name or web page URL. And you'll notice in the fine print below it, it says don't add your domain name, www.domain name. Just put / and then the name of the web page. So if you're tracking opt-ins, for example, and after someone opt-ins, let's say it loads a page called thankyou.html, then in that space you would just do / thankyou.html. Or if it's opt-in success.html, that's what you'd put. Whatever the thank you page is for that goal you're trying to track, that's what you would put in. Now, if you're doing different campaigns, I would clone your different pages, including your thank you pages. So maybe it's thank you number 5.html, whatever it is for that specific campaign. But here's something important. Under destination, it says equals to / thankyou.html. Change that to begins with. The reason why you want to do that is because many services and networks and other things, they will append variables, like a long string of characters and variables, to the end of your web page URL. So they'll add it to the end of thankyou.html. So it'll end up being thankyou.html and then like question mark da 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 da, and they add all this other stuff. So by adding begins with, you'll account for any of that. It'll be just that page, or it'll be all those other data elements. So different shopping carts, systems you use, or other systems you may use for your site, it may add all those extra things to the end. And if you only have equal to, it won't count any of the goals if it has the extra string. So just put begins with, and that's it. Don't mess with value or funnel. Actually, if you're tracking a sales conversion for a campaign, you can turn on value and then you can give it a value. If you do that, I would give it a value of the profit for that sale. Don't do just gross sale amount. So if you sell something for $200, it has a gross profit, of $100, make this $100. So you're at a glance looking at traffic campaigns based on your product profit and what the traffic cost you. It does you no good to look at campaigns on a campaign level based on your gross sales for something, because then you have to think in my head, well, how much did that actually produce in profit? So I just would put profit as the value if it's going to be a sales conversion that you're tracking. And then Google Analytics can kind of show you which campaigns are profitable by how much, or what they're losing by how much if you use these values, but they are optional. So the funnel, you can do a specific path. So I wouldn't mess with anything, any of those things. This is enough to set up, for this example, a goal to track opt-ins. Then you click Save, and then it adds it. There was a button there where you could apply that setup to the past 7 days of activity in your Google Analytics account, and it'll account for those goals based on what you set. I don't recommend you do that because it can kind of mess up your statistics. I would start a new one from scratch with a 0 value and then make the campaign live and start tracking conversions from there forward. So if you're already tracking them on an opt-in page you have, I would try to set up a separate opt-in page if you can and set up a new goal for it, just to keep things separate if possible. But that's how you set up goal tracking and conversion tracking in Google Analytics. And you need to do that now that we're at the point we're really going to start driving and especially buying traffic for your website.